You are watching MTG Cribs on MTGO Academy featuring RYANCRABBS.
Alright, thank you for joining me today. Today we're doing some modern videos with this this deck. So I like to go through like deck lists on different websites from like daily events and see what would do good, and we're from premier events and just see anything interesting that pops up. And like usually it's the same kind of things, at least especially for modern, like Scape Shift, Splinter Twin, Merfolk, Jund. Occasionally burn. Nothing like out of the ordinary. Nothing you wouldn't think you would see pop up. But there was a premier event where this deck top 16. So that means they went X2. They're one win away from top 18. And premier events are always at least 6 rounds. So that means they went 4-2, which is respectable. So at least they could have went 5-2 depending on how many people were in the tournament. So this is a knight deck. So it plays this card called Knight Exemplar, 4 of them. It's a human knight for 1 and 2 whites from M11. Kind of got overshadowed by Titans and Jace and other things that are going on standard at the time. It's a 2/2 first strike. Your other knights get +1/+1 and are have indestructible. So just about every creature in the deck is a knight. So it gives all our creatures, makes them indestructible. So let's look at the deck list. We only have 1/1 drop creature. There's only 1/1. There's not that many one-drop knights. It's a Student of Warfare, and this card actually won a Pro Tour. It's that good. It's a 1/1 for 1 white, level up. So you can pay white to put a level counter on it, and then depending on what level it is, it has abilities. So 2 through 6, it's a 3/3 first strike. So normally you play it turn 1, double level, and it's a 3/3 attack for 3. And occasionally it gets to 7 because of 4/4 double strike. So it's a pretty good card. And then we have 4 Knight of Meadowgrain. It's a 2/2 first strike lifelink. Yep. Then 4 Knight of the White Orchid. It's a 2/2 for 2 white first strike. As you know, most knights have first strike. That's kind of their thing. And when it comes in play, if you have less lands than an opponent, you can search the library for a plane to put it into play. Not tapped, just put it into play. It's pretty sweet. I actually remember playing back in the day a blue-white tap out with like Mind Spring and Martial Coup, and you'd play Knight of the White Orchid. It was pretty sweet. Very good against the aggro decks, and also got your land versus control. Then we have 4 Leon Skyhunter, originally from the first Mirrodin. Got reprinted in Mirrodin Besieged, also 9th edition. It's a 2/2 flyer for 2 white. Yep. 4 Squadron Hawk is a 1/1 for 1 and a white. When you play it, you get 3 more Squadron Hawks. So by itself, it's kind of poopy, but we also playing 4 on the pure, which give our white creatures +1/+1. So if you have one of those, they're just 2/2 flyers. They get more. They get 6 more power worth of flyers. So it's insane. If you have one of these, and obviously you have 2 of these, just the nutters. Then we have 2 Oblivion Ring, 4 Mirror Crusader. This card, I think, is partially how he won so much. This card can Mize wins. It's 2/2 double strike, protection from black and from green. So you can't be blocked by Tarmogoyf, you can't abrupt decay it, you can only lightning bolt it, you can't terminate it, Maelstrom pulse it. So it's kind of hard to deal with, and it hits hard. It's a normal hits for 4, but with any kind of pump effect, it goes up to 6 and then 8. So it's pretty good. Then the Knight Exemplars, like we said. Also, we have 4 Path to Exiles and 3 Brave the Elements to round out the spells in the deck. And I actually, when I was playing with this deck so far, this card is pretty sweet. It's actually won me several games. It's in standard right now. If you've played any standard and played against White Weenie, you know how powerful this card is. Just makes blocking a nightmare. It's like a counter spell. Makes your creatures unblockable. It's pretty sweet. Then we got the mana base. This is obviously a little bit of a budget list. I just want to try it out as it is. I know I could like change things around, but we got 19 planes. So that's the deck. We'll go to the sideboard. We have 2 Aethersworn Canonist for Storm, some Journey to Nowheres for, I guess, more creature decks. 3 Core Firewalker, because we don't want to lose a red. It's just unacceptable, especially as a white mage. We got 2 Leon Relic Warder. This comes into play, you exile an artifact or enchantment, and when it dies, they get it back. So it's good against Affinity, because they don't have that many removal spells like most. At most, they have like 4 Galvanic Blast. So it can usually take something like, it can even get a Darksteel Sigil, so it takes their land. 2 more Oblivion Rings, 2 Timely Reinforcements. This is one of my favorite cards. I played the Boogeyman, I played the Bad Guy deck, I played Cobblade a lot, and this card is very sweet. It helped you with the red matchups immensely. It's a 2 and a white sorcery. If you have less life than your opponent, gain 6 life. If you have fewer creatures, you get 3 1/1 white soldiers. So it's pretty sweet. And then we got 2 random Wormcoil engines in our 19 land deck. So we'll see how that works out. Alright, so I'm going to take this into the 2-man queues, and we're going to crush. And I'm ready, and hopefully you're ready too.